Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 for the Game Boy Advance. Last time we made it from floor 21 to floor 34, which is where we're at now. This is it, home stretch. Thank the Lord, hallelujah. This is not very fun. Frankly, it's kinda tedious, and I can only imagine what doing the 5th obstacle dungeon would be like. So I'm really glad I'm not LPing the PSP version. Like, straight up, I'm very glad, because that bonus dungeon sounds like a pain in the butt. Okay, 35! Got a lot of spiky floors, which is actually a good thing because we don't take damage from spiky floors. Oh, wait, we do take damage from spiky floors, but they also negate encounters. Also, this fight is sped up and still feels like it's taking forever. So yeah, Whisperwind Cove is the longest dungeon in this version, but I'm not sure if it's the longest overall, or if there's something longer in a later game. I mean, like, if the PSP exclusive dungeon is longer, I don't actually know. I would imagine it would be comparable. Yeah, for now, this is just really tedious. But luckily, we're making good time. And really good time, actually. Again, this took a really long time to cut down because there's about 2.5 hours of footage, down to about an hour. So yeah, that's pretty good if I do say so myself. I'm still editing the Lifespring Grotto down, but I think that'll be 2 videos. Just because there's not as much to cut out. Unless I speed up the entire video, which I could do. But for now, I'm thinking it's gonna be 2 videos. And that's a much more enjoyable dungeon because, frankly, the levels are generally a lot smaller. So they're a little less tedious. That's a lot of gil. Prototype, which is, I think, a weaker version of the War Mech, or Death Machine, or whatever the heck you want to call it. The robot of many names. Can't hold anymore. Oh no. Whatever shall I do? So, off screen, I also did a lot of level grinding, I should point out. Since we're just meandering, I might as well say it now. After I finished up the Whisperwind Cove, I actually went to the Wind Shrine, whatever it's called. Oh, Flying Fortress, that's what it's called. To try to find the War Mech. I had no luck, but I actually managed to get to level 70. Like, straight up got to like level 70. So yeah, lots of good experience at least. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, no War Mech though. This is, I think, a rest floor, if I'm not mistaken. You can buy magic. I think they all sell level 8 magic, which is pretty dang good, if you still need some. Not sure why you would, because most likely if you're taking on this dungeon, you already have enough magic. Most likely you will have enough magic. Yeah. The music on this floor reminds me a little bit of the Chocobo music, but I know it's not the Chocobo music. Just sounds a little bit similar. A couple little notes of it remind me of it. Yep. Pretty easy. Yeah, this one isn't actually considered difficult at all. This is actually considered one of the more mid-level dungeons. I mean, we're only like mid-50s. This is long. Again, it's more of an endurance. Like a relay than like a sprint. Which is what the last one we're doing is. The Lifespring Grotto is only 20 floors, but there are 20 tough floors. Yay, new enemies, except we technically have already seen them. Speed up, and should be finishing up pretty soon. Wow, these guys are tougher than I remember them being. And they're regaining health. Okay. What floor is this? Oh, 39. Cool. We're almost there. Hooray! Almost there. And again, just to reiterate, there's actually only one boss in this, which is like really good, because playing this 2 times would be really bad. Really bad. So yeah, it's to make up for it. So essentially with the Lifespring Grotto, it's 40 floors because you have to play it twice. Which I do. I do play it twice. I do show both bosses. I know I didn't show the optional bosses of the previous 2 dungeons just because I was doing a live commentary, and thus it would be a lot harder to actually go through the entire dungeon again. And because frankly those bosses aren't that special. They're really easy to take out. Just spam and you're good. I make a point to show the both bosses of the Lifespring Grotto because they're both super bosses. And I wouldn't want to cut out a super boss from an LP like this. You know, like Barbarisia and Cagnazo, they're just like, they're not that tough. They have like 10,000 HP, which goes really fast, by the way. 10,000 HP is not much when you do 1,000 per hit, so... Like, Rubicante had the most, and even he went down pretty quickly. So yeah, that's my reasoning in not showing all the bosses, and like, Echidna wasn't that much tougher than the boss of the... I don't even remember who all was in the first dungeon. Because Final Fantasy, I have not played Final Fantasy 3 very much. That's probably my... No, that's not my least favorite. 8, 3, 12 are all my least favorites. And 2, actually. I like 2 less than 3. I think I've told this story before, probably during that dungeon, but I have this weird love-hate relationship with 3, where I actually really enjoyed the game up until the final area. But that final area just is kind of a mood killer. It's just because I had to play it 3 times, and each time you have to play the final dungeon perfectly. It took about 2 hours per attempt, so in total the final area took about 6 hours. So yeah, I'm a little bitter about that. If I had planned ahead better... Also, that's not even counting the level grinding. That's not even counting level grinding. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy 3 because I just had a bad run of it. I know people who had no problems with the Cloud of Darkness and all that final dungeon, and they loved the game. So it was just me, just a personal preference thing. I just got so frustrated with that. The 4, I guess, wasn't a whole lot better. I just like the narrative of 4. 4 has a really good story. 3 really doesn't. 3 is just a save the world story. And 3, in my eyes, is sort of like a soft reboot of this game. Anyway, we've reached floor 40. But yeah, 3 brings back the 4 crystals, which were absent in 2, if I'm not mistaken. And they have the more generic heroes, and so on and so forth. So to me, it feels more like Final Fantasy 1. So this is Death Gaze. Was that a mistake? I feel like that was that name was a mistake from what I've read before, but I don't remember why. Maybe because it doesn't actually look like the original Death Gaze. What does Death Gaze look? Oh wow, that is the same boss. Okay, that's the problem. That's what I'm thinking of. In the Japanese version, use Death Gaze. In Final Fantasy 3, or Final Fantasy 6, as it's more commonly known now, it's called Doom Gaze. So for this game, they go with the Japanese name. Just wanted to point that out. That's what I was thinking of. It has, that's Final Fantasy 6 stats. Final Fantasy 1 stats, it has 30,000 HP. And as the name might imply, it actually has an insta-kill. A couple insta-kills, actually. I don't recall if they actually hit or not, because I'm actually not looking at the screen right now, because I'm reading my Death Gaze. No Death works. Haste, Temper, and Invis work really well. Terra also works really well. Oh yeah, Death. apparently, one thing I figured out later on is there's with the judgment staff that we got earlier, you can actually use it as an item, and that allows you to cast flare without actually using MP. So yeah, we start doing that more in the next dungeon once I actually figure that out. But yeah, this is again just kind of a long, tedious fight because it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. Yeah, see, when you have 30,000 HP and each attack does like 500, that means it takes about like 30 turns, in essence. This flare does around 500, or 600 actually. And the ninja is only doing about, 100. The knight only did 80 that turn. Here I don't actually cast Temper, I do that more in Whisperwind Grotto, because those enemies have a lot more HP. So, yeah, this just making me want to LP Final Fantasy VI really soon, but I know I shouldn't do that, because that's a terrible idea. That is a terrible idea to try to LP Final Fantasy VI right now, because I just did Final Fantasy. Besides, I'd be skipping over 3 games. Wait, that's bad now. 1, 2, 3, 5 games. I do want to tackle 4 at some point, because 4 is, again, one of my favorites. It would be the PSP version, which means I'd have to buy a PSTV. I've been actually thinking about, like, selling my Vita, and it's just using the money to get a PSTV and an HDMI splitter, so I could actually record Vita games, and PSP, and PS1. Because most likely that would be how I would tackle Final Fantasy IX, buy digital, and then just let's play it. Like, let's play the PS1 version. I know it doesn't have all the fancy speed up tricks and stuff of the Steam version, but I don't care. Yeah, Whisperwind Grotto is actually a lot shorter, so should only take 2 videos, maybe even 1, depending on how much I cut out. Yeah, and Stella's dying a lot. Okay. Frankly, this went a lot better than I would have thought for Death Gaze, because Death Gaze is, if I recall correctly, was actually not an easy boss. It's 6. Personally, 6's enemies in this game, and also 4's enemies in this game, are just kind of lackluster, because they're not like... The combat system in Final Fantasy 1 lacks the subtle nuances of like the active time battles, magic works differently, so on. So like, it feels different. Like, these fights do feel a lot different, but also makes you realize how much better the active time battles are. In some ways, makes it feel more dynamic, feels less like you're just mashing buttons. And again, I wasn't really thinking of it too much until I got to these bosses, because it's like, these bosses are actually, in other games, and yet it doesn't feel as fulfilling defeating them in this game. Maybe also because there's less build-up to them? I don't know. Anyway, we're almost there, I think. I think we're getting close. Or not, we still have a little ways to go. So yeah, there are a lot of different versions of Final Fantasy 1. So, yeah, the PSP version added, I think, the most, actually, because of the Labyrinth of Time. Oh wow, that's interesting. I don't think we got this, but, I think in Japan, because I don't think this came out in America, the PSP version of Final Fantasy 1 actually came out on the 3DS. I remember hearing about that, but I totally forgot about that. PSP version would have actually been the best, because it would actually be the easiest to record from some standpoints. On the Vita TV, that is. And also it's the sharpest version. So in addition to the Labyrinth of Time, it is the sharpest looking, so yeah, that would have been the better way to go. Are we almost there? Nope, not quite. Okay. So yeah, Labyrinth of Time is... How many floors is it? Doesn't actually say right off the bat. Yeah, that dungeon sounds really tough. I know nothing about it, really. Anyway, that's it for Death Gaze. We get the Lightbringer, which is, I think, a sword for red mages, so we can't actually equip it. I think I go through, like, trying to figure out who to equip it to, and then I figure out, oh, I can't actually equip it to anybody. That was disappointing. But other than that, that's it. We're done. That is it for the Whisperwind Cove. Next time on Final Fantasy 1, we begin the Lifespring Grotto. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how this works. Anyway, use the portal, warp out. 2 warps, by the way. And also one more treasure, the ultimate weapon, which is a really good sword. Yeah. Anyway, that's the strongest weapon, I think, in the game. But in any case, return to the surface. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me for more Final Fantasy 1.